the European Commission has always been good at funding civil society. It's about 12 to 15% of our funding, and we are proposing to increase it towards another 22% in the next budget period. But NGOs and civil society want more than just the money. They are looking for a dialogue with us. They want us to look beyond the funding, and I think this is where we need to engage a lot better. Traditionally, we've used NGOs, or they have worked with us very much for service delivery. That remains very important, but as countries that we work with are becoming richer, more developed, we think we should move on from that role. We should also work with NGOs to scrutinize what we do, to help keep governments accountable on the effectiveness of the aid. And so they can more play a role as watchdogs, not just of their own government, but also of us, of the European Commission. Are we spending the money well? That would be an interesting role, we believe, for civil society in the future. This consultation will run until the 7th of May. We really hope that we will go beyond, if I may say, the usual suspects. We want to engage with civil society in the south and in the east, our neighborhood. We want to have replies for from some of the people that we may not normally reach, and we hope to reach wider than usual. We will analyze all the replies and then we'll come up with a policy paper. The idea is to set a policy that will guide how we will be working with civil society over the next 7 years. The world has changed. There has not been a communication since 2002 on this issue, and we have a number of lessons learned that will be reflected. There's been the Arab Spring. One of the clear messages coming back from our partners in civil society in some of these countries has been to say, how could you go ahead and support those governments without actually hearing from us whether we thought that was a good idea? That is an issue that we need to address in the future. We'll have to find a way to make sure that when we do work with governments, government to government, we are held accountable by civil society. We find a way to make sure they can influence what we do. That has changed. There is a paradox here as well. Some of the countries that had revolutions, you actually see a shrinking space for civil society. Overall in the world, probably democracy is advancing, but it is a paradox that some of these countries actually pass laws that are restricting the freedom of NGOs to work and play the role that we would like to see. So the communication will also set out the issues that Europe would like to address in our policy dialogue with those governments, allowing civil society to play a role. You know, if somebody does not agree with you, that person is not your enemy. Maybe they have good advice to do things better, and that is the role that we would like to see civil society being allowed to play. Well, the advice that I would give to our colleagues in delegations is to get out of the office and meet with civil society. They are looking for more than money. They are also looking for dialogue. We need to map them. We need to know who can we call on to get a second opinion when we are conducting our policy dialogue with the government. It's a capacity problem. It requires training, adequate human resources, but it is something that we must do if we are to deliver on the promises of Agenda for Change. And I think if we are more assertive and better informed, it will improve our development cooperation. And my advice to civil society is the same. Be more assertive and you will find Europe by your side.